A student submits a polished essay to their teacher. The sentences are clean and the structure is perfectly arranged. The vocabulary sounds impressive to any casual reader. The teacher pauses and asks one simple, piercing question. The teacher asks, "So what did you mean in this paragraph?" The student suddenly freezes in their seat. That is the defining moment of the entire interaction. It is not because artificial intelligence was used. It is because the writing sounds smarter than the thinking behind it. That is the real problem we face today. The issue is not the technology itself. The problem lies in how our schools grade students. For years, schools have rewarded only the polished final product. They valued the neat essay and the strong presentation. If it looked good, we assumed that learning happened. If it sounded smart, we assumed understanding was present. But artificial intelligence exposed how weak that system was. Polished output has become cheap and easy to generate. Any system built on rewarding polish starts to crack. The real question is not, did you use AI? Instead, we must ask, what kind of thinking did you do? That single question changes everything about education. A student can use AI to avoid thinking entirely. Or a student can use AI to sharpen their thinking. They can ask for two different interpretations of a topic. They can ask which argument is weaker or stronger. They can ask for a counterargument to their own position. Then they rewrite the content in their own words. It is the same tool, but a different use. The outcome depends entirely on the student's intent. That is the line between success and failure. It is not about use versus no use. It is about thinking versus no thinking. So what should schools grade in this new era? They must look beyond the final product. They need to grade process, judgment, and revision. What did the student ask during their research? What did they reject along the way? What did they rewrite to make it better? What did they challenge in their own work? What did they make their own? That is where real learning truly lives. The most valuable student is not the fastest producer. It is the student who can look at an answer. They say, "This sounds smart, but something is off." That is judgment, discernment, and true education. Parents should not start by asking, "Did you use AI?" Start by asking, "What did you question?" Ask, "What did you change to improve it?" Ask, "What did you make your own?" Teachers should not just ask, "Is this original?" Ask, "Can you explain the thinking behind it?" The problem is a system comfortable grading the surface. The future will not reward those who sound smart. It will reward those who can judge the truth. They must identify what is weak or shallow. They must know what is worth keeping. That is the essential skill of our time. That is the gap we must bridge. That is what schools should be measuring now.